welcome back to my channel. I want to go ahead and share with you guys some pressed powders that I feel like are really good in the makeup game because there's so many products out there. I know it's hard to, figure out which one is the best to try, but I do have some in drugstore and in high end as well. So get excited because I think I have a couple favorites in here that you guys will like. And also before I go ahead and jump into everything, the left side of my throat and my ear is literally ringing and hurting so bad. So yeah, I'm like struggling right now, but I will try my best. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this video. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So let's start off with the first one that I do have, which I feel like is an OG in this makeup game. The first one I do have is a Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder. I do have the shade Mocha, and I believe I went between coconut and mocha, so it just depends. But this powder, when it comes to a drugstore, is just the absolute best. I mean, before all the other powders that I love came out, I used to use this every single day in my makeup routine. Like, I couldn't get enough of it. The powder is really nice, and it gives like a nice blurring effect on the skin. It also controlled my shine as well, and it looked flawless every single time. And I believe this is only like $5.99, something like that. So it's really affordable at the same time, and there's so many shades to pick from. I always say this when it comes to drugstore, Maybelline is one of my favorites because they're very inclusive when it comes to their shades, and all their products are really nice as well. Like, there's no bad Maybelline product that I can think of, so that says a lot. But yes, I did have to go ahead and mention the Maybelline Fit Me powder. So the next one I do want to grab is a high-end product. All right, I have the Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder, such a long name, and I have it in the shade Dark number 3. So this is this powder, and it is broken, you guys, so let me lightly show you guys what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it's completely broken. Because this powder is so finely milled, you have to be careful with it because it will crack a little bit easier. So actually with this powder, I will say it is not a full, coverage powder, or it doesn't give any coverage actually. What I use this for is more so as a touch-up powder throughout the day because I am oily, so I do get shiny throughout the day. So this is a great touch-up powder. It is not too heavy on the skin. It's very light and airy, and it makes you look flawless once you go ahead and put it on your skin, which is why they call it the Airbrush Flawless Finish, powder, of course. So that's what I use it for. And I do believe she came up with more shades because this one was the darkest one. And to be honest, y'all, it is not that dark. All right. Like, let me go ahead and show you guys again. It is not a dark powder. So I do believe she came out with some more shades as well. So definitely go ahead and check it out. But this is one of my favorites that I love. All right. Now, moving on to another high-end powder that I am obsessed with. It is Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. And this is their translucent powder. Number one, I love the packaging, y'all. Like, the water and like the drops on there, so nice. But the reason why I love this powder is because it's an actual translucent powder. Okay, so typically with powders like this, I get a little bit scared because I mean, it's white, but it's more so like a beige type of white. All right, y'all see that? It's not a straight up white powder. But regardless, when you go ahead and put it on your skin, all right, y'all see this right here? I blend it in, and it literally disappears into the skin. Like, I love this powder so much, and I'm obsessed with it. I use it all the time. So what I do with this is I go ahead and use it throughout my makeup routine. After I go ahead and set my face and bake my under eyes and all of that, I go back in with this towards the end just to like really set everything on the skin. And then also throughout the day as well, I use it as a touch-up powder because it is a translucent powder. So shout out to Urban Decay because this right here, y'all, bomb. So the next one I do have is a drugstore powder, and it's a Rimmel London Stay Matte Powder. All right, this is such an OG product. Okay, I have the shade Toffee, and this is really nice, you guys. And I actually got this when they sent this to me in PR, I believe about a year ago. And so I tried it out and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually a really good powder. But it's a very nice soft powder, has a little bit of coverage in there, but the best part is it gives you a smoothing effect on the skin, you guys. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but Once you go ahead and try it out, you will see what I mean. But I love this powder because it's not too heavy on the skin. It kind of blends in right away, but at the same time, it gives you a flawless base. So how I would use this is after my foundation, I will go ahead and just set my face with this all over. I won't use it as a touch-up powder just because it has a little bit of color in there. So I don't prefer to use, you know, colored powder as touch-up powders. I prefer translucent powders. But nonetheless, if you need a little bit of coverage on your skin, I will recommend this one, and it's so affordable at the same time. Now, of course, the last two are my absolute favorite, okay? Like when it comes to powders, nobody is touching these two. I don't care what anyone says. The first one I do want to mention is a Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation, and I have the shade 420, but during the VIB sale, I'm gonna grab the shade 410 because I believe that's a better color for my skin tone. But regardless, you guys, this formula is so nice. All right, you guys know I love this next powder that I'm gonna tell you guys in a little bit. So I didn't feel like I needed the Fenty powder when it came out, but I will say I was wrong because this is very up there with the other powder I'm about to mention. It gives you a nice flawless blurred out filter effect on your skin. All right, it looks absolutely beautiful. You can go ahead and wear this by itself because it has a lot of coverage, but at the same time it doesn't look cakey on the skin. All right, before, back in the day, I used to be scared of powder foundations, especially when it came to setting your actual liquid foundation. But this with liquid foundation, you guys, looks so flawless. I love it so much, and I love to wear this by itself as well because it looks that good. And then also because y'all know I love this powder, I'm just going to keep telling you guys all the, you know, positive things about it. But throughout the day, it doesn't break down as well. It just looks really good on the skin, even after 8+ hours. And I was really impressed with this one. So shout out to Fenty because I didn't think, you know, another high-end powder would kill it out here. But this one is really good. Okay. Now, of course, if you watch my videos, you guys already know the next powder I'm about to mention. Like, it's not even a surprise at this point, but it's a Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder, okay? Honestly, to me, no other powder out there is touching this one, all right? This just gives you the most flawless, smooth, beautiful coverage effect on the skin. Like, I can say so much about this powder, obviously because I've hit pan and I'm about to get another one during the VIB sale, but I love this powder. I cannot live without it at all, you guys. Like, when I do my makeup and I don't have this powder, it just doesn't look right. What I love about it is because when it comes to my liquid foundation, I don't like to apply too much on my skin. I love to apply like a thin layer, but if I need extra coverage in certain areas, like especially this side because I have a bunch of dark marks on my skin, I will go in with this powder because it will cover it up and not make it look cakey. And also with this, I love putting it around my mouth because I have the hyperpigmentation. And honestly, anywhere that I do have hyperpigmentation, this just works really well in terms of covering that area up, and it just looks flawless throughout the day. So yes, I can write a whole book about why this powder is the best, but I think you guys know at this point how I feel about it. Now, I actually do want to mention one more powder, but I don't have it in front of me, but it's the MAC powder. I cannot remember what it was called, but it's a MAC powder foundation. I will put the image right here and the name, of course. But before the Makeup Forever powder, I was using this powder all the time, okay? Because the MAC one, you guys, it gives you a lot of coverage, but it still looks flawless on the skin. You guys know the MAC powders, like, it was just one of the best powders out there in the game, but now there's a lot of competition, all right? So I still want to go ahead and mention that one because it was my favorite for the longest before I tried the Makeup Forever powder. But those were all the pressed powders I wanted to mention. Of course, let me know down below any other powders you guys love out there because I love trying new, products all the time. That's my job, of course. So go ahead and let me know. But I love you guys so much. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.